the church say amen. I want you to remain standing, opening your Bibles to 2 Samuel chapter 13. We'll read a portion of our text, the majority of our text, responsively. 2 Samuel chapter 13. Preaching is only relevant when it speaks to the condition of the hearer. Amen. Amen. First church I pastored had a member who asked me, said, "Pastor, you keep telling us about Peter and John and Matthew. When you going to talk about us Negroes?" Preaching is at McDonald's arch. It talks about what God said, and it talks about what God is saying, and then the arch unites so that it speaks to the current condition. Amen. So I want us to read verses 1 through 14 responsively. Our text primarily is verses 14 through 17, but I'll read the rest of the verses myself, but we'll read responsibly verses 1 through 14. If you're ready to read, would you say amen? Amen. And it came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister whose name was Tamar, and Amnon, the son of David, loved her.
And Amnon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister Tamar, for she was a virgin.
But Amnon had a friend whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shimei, David's brother. And Jonadab was a very subtle man.
And he said unto him, Why art thou being the king's son, lead from day to day? Wilt thou marry me? And Amnon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister.
And Jonadab said unto him, Lay thee down on thy bed, and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come, and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it, and eat it at her hand.
So Amnon lay down, and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Amnon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come, and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand.
Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, Go now to thy brother Amnon's house, and dress him meat.
So Tamar went to her brother Amnon's house, and he was laid down, and she took flour, and kneaded it, and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes.
And she took a pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Amnon said, Have out all men from me. And they went out, every man from him.
And Amnon said unto Tamar, Bring me into the chamber, that I may eat of thy hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she made again, and brought them into the chamber to Amnon her brother.
And when she had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her and said unto her, Come lie with me, my sister.
And she answered him, Nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such a thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou respond.
And I, whither shall I cause my shame to go? And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore, I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from thee.
Howbeit, he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her and labored her.
Then verses 15 through 17, then Amnon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Amnon said unto her, arise, be gone. And she said unto him, there is no cause. This evil is sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken unto her. Then he called his servant that ministered unto him and said, Put now this woman out from me, and bolt the door after her. Amen. I want to preach from the subject, love and rape.
All right.
I want you to repeat after me, love and rape. Amen. You may be seated. We've been hearing about it and talking about it all week long.
Yeah.
We need to come to church and pretend like we don't know.
All right.
We are living now in the disunited States of America.
All right.
We have a president in the White House whose leadership strategy is to divide and conquer. The more division, the more comfortable he feels. Democrats and Republicans are arguably more divided than ever before. The divide between the races is great and growing rapidly. Even genders are more separated than normal. We are a divided nation. The system repeatedly shows us blatant double standards without apology. And Hitler said that if you introduce an idea long enough, people will soon think it's normal. They can murder us on camera and face no legal consequences. They can rape their own and still get promoted to high political offices. And yet one of our brightest and most successful can be accused by one. And I want to underscore, the case was about one, not about the others. Andrea Constant was the only one Cosby was on trial for, one who was not one of their prized possessions. And although the facts of the case do not prove rape, many of us celebrate Bill Cosby's 3 to 10 year sentence at the age of 81, while others have been accused and often have confessed or been caught on camera, and there are no repercussions. If I can illustrate this way, and I shared this with my Sunday school class, if I had a basket full of fruit and a sign attached, do not touch, and I saw a couple of men take some fruit and I said nothing. Then some other men came through and took some more fruit and I said nothing. Then some more men came and took some more fruit and I said nothing. And then one woman came and got a fruit and I wrestled her to the ground and held her down and called 911 and had her arrested. The issue would not be about stealing, it would be about my unjust measuring stick on who I charged and who I did not charge. I can't celebrate Bill Cosby's sentence when other folk are getting off with no consequences. Because America is not dealing with rape yet. Now, rape is evil. Rape is wicked. Rape is absolutely wrong. But the system isn't addressing rape yet. This is not a victory for women. This is political. Right. Know how I know it's political? There's several ways I know it's political. Number one, R. Kelly's still singing. And he's still singing because they got some more money they're going to make off of him before he gets locked up. But his day coming too. Charlie Sheen is a free man. Brett Kavanaugh is a Supreme Court nominee. And Donald Trump is president. How soon we forget young Brock Turner, who was convicted of raping an unconscious woman, was sentenced to 6 months, got off after 3 months for good behavior because the judge said they didn't want to destroy his young life. Nobody thought that way about Emmett Till, who was brutally killed when falsely accused of whistling at a white woman. Don't fall for okie doke. This is political. This nation isn't addressing rape yet. It's still political for this nation. If rape is to be addressed, the community has to deal with it. It hit me in 3D this week as some of my college classmates that went to a different school, after all of this, decided they would come out and announce that some of the faculty at their high school, when I was in high school, we were at different schools, but the schools were close together, many of the faculty had raped them. And they said that other faculty knew and didn't report it and didn't protect them. And so 30 years later, they're ready to talk about it. They called names. And some of the names they called were of men I know, either because we went to church together or I was friends with their son. So it's real. And it needs to be addressed, and it needs to be exposed. It's ugly, it's nasty, it's borderline unforgivable. It destroys lives. It's horrific. But don't think America cares. This text describes a rape. And just like today, the legal system did nothing about it. One of David's children, Tamar, the sister of Absalom, and when you look at the life of Tamar and Absalom, they had a beautiful mother and they were good looking too. They were both considered great looking, gorgeous children. Tamar was clearly beautiful in the eyes of her half-brother Amnon. But I want to tell you, beauty is a blessing and a curse. Beauty opens doors. But not all doors that they open are doors you won't open. Help me if you can. Beauty can attract good men, but it also attracts monsters. Beauty creates admirers and haters. One man walking with his little girl, she saw a dog running loose, and she cried and screamed. He said, "Baby, calm down. Don't worry about the four-legged ones." My job as dad is to help you recognize two-legged dogs. Beauty will make some listen to you, and beauty will make some try and shut you up. Beauty will make some children feel privileged, but that privilege can make some feel spoiled, vain, and arrogant. In other words, beauty on the outside can make you ugly on the inside. So we got to be so slow to make quick verdicts of situations we're not in. We've got to be slow to just believe everything we hear on either side, because gifts comes with crosses. I'm not sure Tamar, in fact, I'm confident that Tamar would have rather be less attractive than to be as attractive and get raped by her own brother. Don't brag on your blessings. Because your blessings come with curses. Don't envy other people who look more blessed than you, because their blessings come with curses also. virtues and vices come together. All of us are blessed.
Amen.
All I have witnessed that. I say all of us are blessed.
Amen. Thank you, Lord.
But your blessings come with curses. True spirituality is revealed through our stewardship of the blessing. Virtues and vices come together. And so it's a blessing to be made like you are. But your blessing comes with some curses. And then I want to warn you out of this text. Be able to distinguish between love and lust. Amen. See, Amnon claimed to love his sister. He had the kind of love that many women would be attracted to. But other brothers would warn you, don't trust that. Now the system was so crooked, he was up to no good. He could tell his friend he was up to no good, and his friend helped him with the no good. And then he's so up to no good, he tricks his daddy to get in on the plot. That's why I say the community has to deal with it, because there should be some brothers who would say, no, man, don't do that.
Don't do that. Amen. Amen.
There used to be a day. I've got to that age, y'all, well, I can say used to be now. There used to be a day that if a fella cursed around another woman, another man would say, man, don't talk like that. You ever see that lady on there? There used to be a day where men would hold men accountable for how men treated women. That day seems to be gone for good. Love and lust look very different. They look similar, but there are some differences. Both may come with passion, but one seeks to get a need met. The other seeks to meet a need.
Amen.
Don't be so infatuated when he can't live without you. That might be a psycho.
Amen.
I used to like that song by Jennifer Holliday and Jennifer Hudson. You gonna love me? There's no way. No way. I'm living without you. I ain't living without you. I ain't living without you. I don't want to be free. You gonna love me. I used to like you. That sounds like the confession of a stalker. It sounds romantic when you're looking to be cherished. But I want to suggest to you, sometimes the brother who's slow is the one that can be trusted, because a horse that runs fast don't run long. Amnon couldn't live without her. He had to have her. He wanted her so bad he was sick, y'all. Depressed. Because he knew legally he couldn't have her. That's his sister. So there was really no way that he could make her his wife, but he couldn't live without her. I'm so glad she knew not to be attracted to that foolishness.
Amen.
It was not romance. It was rape. It doesn't matter how beautiful or handsome. Codependency is not a formula for companionship. Amnon wanted Tamar so much, he brought his friend Jonadab in. Somebody ought to be friend enough to correct you when you're wrong. He schemed and tricked his daddy into the scheme so that Amnon pretended to be sick, and David told his daughter to go take care of him. Now, can you imagine how angry a father would have been to find out that his son has tricked him into cooperating with an evil scheme to have his own daughter raped. Talking about murder, she wrote. And so he goes in, plots, schemes, and forces himself upon his own half-sister Tamar. He raped her and then turned around and hated her. Amen. And y'all, again, I've seen this stuff. I remember years ago saying to a girl trying to help her, I said, listen, I don't know what he told you, but he married. And she smiled at me and said, you just saying that because you hating on him. I'm telling you, he married. She didn't believe me. She went in with the guy, and afterwards, just like this text, he looked at her and said, why are you still here? Put her out, and later she found out he was married. She was wounded by that, grieved from that, because she was taken advantage of. And I want to suggest that if it's not true love, after you get what you want, lust turns to hate. All right. He raped her, hated her, threw her out, and then locked her out. All right. Literally, he was saying to her, I'm through with you. Amen. Ain't nobody else gonna want you. Because they'll know about this experience. Nobody else will want you. So I'm not going to be responsible for you. You out there on your own. In fact, I want to dismiss you so much from my life, I don't ever want to see you again. And it happened not just because he was wicked, but because he had a wicked friend. Y'all, the community has to stand up and say, no, this ain't going to happen. No, we're not going to tolerate this. No, we're not going to put up with this. The community has to say, this is not what we will allow. Men have to stand up to men and say, no, bro, this ain't going down like that. Men have to stand up and protect women. It seems like the day is gone, but y'all, the day has to come back where women have to stop feeling like they have to fight for themselves. There ought to be some daddies, some brothers, some significant others who will stand up and say, you ain't got to fight this battle, we got to. Amen. Amen. I know it's popular now to say, I am woman, hear me roar. But some life will hit you hard when that roar will turn to a purr. Amen. And if he won't be man enough to get up out the car and pump gas in the car, especially if he ain't paying for it, then stop praying and asking God, is that my husband? I sure wish I had some help today. If he's not man enough to protect you when you're not in danger, don't expect him to show up when danger comes. It's not just about Amnon. That was Jonadab here. It's not just what happened in all of these cases. There were some other folk helping keep it quiet. And I'm just saying to you that America is not concerned. It's political right now. Amnon literally destroyed her life because she not only has the physical abuse, the emotional abuse, but the social stigma that made her no longer a prize for any man looking for a wife. Amnon is despicable. I've known both victims and assailants of similar-like experience. The model for love is not Amnon. If you want to know what love looks like, John 3:16 is a good one. God so loved that he gave. Love doesn't take not suggesting that we ought to be sitting waiting as observers trying to see who loves us. The Bible doesn't tell us to be love inspectors, but we ought to be love discerners. Don't believe that you are loved when the person you believe loves you is always creating new demands of you. Oh, I wish y'all had helped me. When every day is something new, they want you to take 3 steps, you take 3, but then they tell you it was supposed to be 2 forward and 1 to the side. And it's always something new that you're trying your best just to satisfy them, and it's never enough. That's not love. Love does not look that way. Love, the Bible says, suffereth long. Love hopeth and believeth all things. Love is merciful, and love never ends. He says there are many other gifts, but love conquers them all. Love does not need to be reciprocated in order to exist. Love will love when it doesn't get love back. Love will forgive even when other folk think you're crazy for forgiving. Love will fight for you even when there's not enough evidence for you to stand on. But when you're always having somebody giving new expectations, that's not love, that's control. Relationships should be love competition. You see who can give the most. You outgave me today, but tomorrow I'm going to get you.
Amen.
I used to have some buddies, folk were laughing at us, we would go out to restaurants, and they always, when they got to know us, they knew that we were going to be rushing to get the ticket because I was like, he paid last time, it's my turn. And he'd be like, no, I got it this time too. And we'd be fighting over the ticket, who's going to pay? I know some other folk, when the ticket comes, they go to the bathroom. Relationships in the body of Christ should be love competitions, that I may not be able to give what you give because what you need may not be what you gave, but I want to seek your need and meet your need because I want you to blossom as God created you. I'm not a witch or a warlock. I'm not trying to make you into what I want you to be. I'm trying to help you blossom into what God created you to be. You ought to wake up in the morning and say, you know, God's been so good. I know I can't do it, but I'm going to try my best to outgive God today. What shall I render? What shall I give unto God for all his blessings? What shall I render? What shall I give? God has everything. Everything belongs to him. What shall I render? What shall I give unto God? Because he keeps on blessing me. And when I give him praise, that's not to get blessings. It's an expression of gratitude that I am blessed. And when I serve him with gladness, I realize it's in him I live, move, and have my being. He had to give in order for me to give first. But if I keep on giving, I realize the more I give, the more he gives back to me. So I just want to keep on blessing God because he keeps on blessing me. I don't do it because of the law. I do it because I love him. Oh yes, you got to get to the place where you serve God not because you want to go to heaven, even if there is no heaven. I serve God because I love God. Every day with Jesus is sweeter than the day before. I serve him because God is worthy of my service. He's worthy of my praise. He loved me when I didn't have sense enough to love him back. Now that I got a little sense, I love him in return. And the more I love him, the more I realize he deserves to be loved. God doesn't give me a list of demands. God doesn't always keep the bar so high that I never reach it. He loves me so much that he calls me righteous by giving me his righteousness. He doesn't give me a list and say, you will never be holy, you will never reach it. No, he loves me so much, he imputes his holiness to me so that I have the holiness and righteousness of God and I didn't have to work for it. So if he can do that out of love, up every morning? How dare we wait till Sunday to praise him? Every day is a day of thanksgiving. God has been good to me. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. He shows me what love looks like. So he doesn't give me a list of demands. But I tell you what he does give me. Grace and mercy. He just keeps on blessing me over and over again. He blesses me so that morning by morning, new mercies I see. He keeps on blessing me. I had mercy for yesterday, but then when I woke up this morning, I had some new mercies. And y'all, if I live through the night and see tomorrow, I got some new mercies waiting on me in the morning. And I don't know about you, but I can't wait till I get to heaven and say thank you. But I'll say thank you because where I am, the Lord brought me. What I know, he taught me. And who I am, he made me. And what I have, he gave me. Can't nobody do me like Jesus. Hey, nobody do me like the Lord. Is there anybody here that can shout with me? He loves me when I didn't love myself. He loved me when I wasn't fit to be loved. He loved me, not demanding of me, but blessing me. He keeps on blessing me over and over and over and over again. Ain't he all right? Ain't he all right? Is there anybody here that knows my Jesus? Is there anybody here that knows my Lord? Ain't he all right? Can you say yeah? Say yeah. Jesus loved me, this I know, for the Bible tells me so. I dare you to just lift your hand and say thank you for your love, thank you for your blessings, thank you for your mercy, thank you for your grace, thank you, thank you, thank you. Praise him for his love. The privilege of the church is extended. Out of this world, you'll see a whole lot of stuff called love. But if you really want to experience love, I dare you to give your life to Jesus Christ. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Is there another today? Candidate for baptism, letter of Christian experience.
Thank you, Lord.
Jesus paid a debt he did not owe. Because we owed a debt we could not pay. If you want to give your life to Jesus Christ, don't delay because you know what you did yesterday or last week. The blood of Jesus will wash all that away. And God will give you a brand new start. If there's another, the door is open, the privilege is extended. Thank you. Standing with your church, you may be seated. All others remain standing if any.